Hello, welcome to Desde Aquí. I am Gisela Sanders Alcántara. I am bringing you the second part and last of an interview that I recorded with Diana Baron Moore. But before, we're going to remember what happened in the previous conversation, meaning in the previous dispatch.
I felt so inspired by that model that Eliza had in mind, which was really about creating community space and community care, right? Like, I think as we talk about ableism and the challenges that folks with disabilities and the people who love them are navigating, so much of it is about being separated, being othered, and being isolated, right? So this idea of like intentionally building spaces that are all about opening up room for people to like authentically and genuinely offer each other care is so beautiful and so radical.
Yeah. Okay.
Leah Lakshmi Piepsna Samarazinya wrote a book called Care Work, and she honestly didn't even propose this as a definition, but it resonated so deeply for me, is the idea that disability is a set of virtuosic skills. Did I get that right?
Yeah, it's virtuosic. Disability is a set of innovative and virtuosic skills.
Innovative and virtuosic skills. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Leah Lakshmi Piepsna Samarazinya. I've practiced that name because it's she's such an incredible thinker, and the book Care Work, I think, is just like start to finish kind of jaw-dropping. And I think so the idea of disability as a set of innovative and virtuosic skills, as opposed to a definition which is like disability is a set of limitations that affect somebody's daily functioning, right? That definition makes no room for the idea that there's knowledge and wisdom, and also like what the lived experience is of being a person with a disability, which is so much about navigating a world that's not built for you.
That's right.
And finding ways to make it work through your own creativity, through your own ingenuity, finding solutions where there are not solutions.
How can we, in a very tangible way, how we can see ableism? And you mentioned the pandemic, right? Yeah. And so who was just hit the hardest, right? The most vulnerable communities, right?
There's so many things to point out about the way the policy around COVID-19 has over and over again left people with disabilities out, including during the height of the pandemic. There were triage protocols that were proposed that would take ventilators away from people with disabilities because they had a lower quality of life, right? People with intellectual disabilities were many more times likely to die because they got triaged out of care.
Wow, that is actually so, right? And like so then shocking, you see right? As well, again, This time she's bringing us the 10 Principles of Disability Justice, written by the Disability Justice Collective. As well, we're going to talk about our hopes and dreams for the future at a personal level. I leave you with Diana and me, and just keep discovering new ideas. And because this is just a conversation to really create more awareness about what it is that disability is, right? Well, I really so then we are going to read the 10 principles of disability justice that we're creating by a collective, right? And you were mentioning the names of the participants that wrote them, right?
Absolutely. The 5 members who were part of the initial writing process were Patty Byrne, Leroy Moore, Mia Mingus, Eli Clare, and Sebastian Margaret.
Oh, wow. But we're going to go read the 10 principles. Do you want to read them with me?
Sure.
Okay, I'm
Should
going to
we
read the first
switch?
one. Yeah, let's switch back and forth.
Okay.
So, number 1, intersectionality. We do not live single issue lives.
Number 2, leadership of the most impacted. We are led by those who most know these systems. And that's a quote from Aurora Levins Morales.
Let's go for number 3. Do you want to go for number 3 or should I go for it?
I'll do number 3, anti-capitalist politic. In an economy that sees land and humans as components of profit, we are anti-capitalist by the nature of having non-conforming body minds.
That's right. That is actually a key issue, right? And we've spoke about how capitalism has really supported a lot this ableist notion, right? Of like, you need to produce, and that's the only way you would be valuable, right? If you're able to make money and contribute to society, right? That novel idea of like, I want to contribute.
Right. I hope that our time on this earth is worth more than what we produce for capital.
Yeah. Commitment to cross-movement organizing. Shifting how social justice movements understand disability and contextualize ableism, disability justice lends itself to politics of alliance.
That one always makes me think of how during the 504 sit-ins, the Black Panthers came and brought food.
Oh my
so
God.
that's the connection that always comes up for me with number 4.
Yeah.
Recognizing wholeness is principle number 5. Yeah, we've been talking about that.
Just talking about it. Just what I was mentioning before, right? I mean, in part of the healing process is just recognizing you as a whole, right?
Yeah.
With all your parts, right?
All your parts, all of the things that make you valuable besides what you produce too, right? All of your wisdom, all of your stories.
The relationships, the support, the caring, right?
Yeah.
All that doesn't have like a capitalist value sign, right?
Yeah, there's no dollar sign attached to it.
Or peso sign.
Or pesos, that's right.
Right,
Yes.
exactly.
Yes.
Sustainability, right? Just talking about going back to the land, right? We pace ourselves individually and collectively to be sustained long term. Our embodied experiences guided us towards ongoing justice and liberation. And this sustainability is not only with the land, but with ourselves, right? We cannot just overwork ourselves to the point of getting sick, right? We really need to take care of ourselves and understand our limitations.
Commitment to cross-disability solidarity. We honor the insights and participation of all our community members, knowing that isolation undermines collective liberation.
That's right. Okay, so we have interdependence. We meet each other's needs as we build towards liberation, knowing the state solution inevitably extend into further control over our lives. Yeah, right?
We need each other.
We need each other, and we really need to ask, not assume what's going on with you, right? Always ask, always ask. Sometimes we forget, right? Sometimes like, I know what you need, or what, because we usually, filter life through our own experience, right? So.
All right, collective access is the 9th principle of disability justice. As brown, black, and queer-bodied disabled people, we bring flexibility and creative nuance that go beyond able-bodied and able-minded normativity to be in community with one another.
That's right, that's right. Yeah, in that regards, I just wanted to mention, and last one, collective liberation. Nobody or mind can be left behind. Only moving together can we accomplish the revolution we require. This is so beautiful, right? Moving together, right? It's very, I mean, it's very truth, and really feel that these principles are very complete.
Yes. I mean, for me, as I read them, it feels very clear that they were made by people who are from this community, right? And principle number 2, leadership of those most impacted, feels so central here, that like the people who understand where the pitfalls are the people who are falling in the pitfalls.
Are the ones that are not asked, right?
And also the ones who are not. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
And just to finalize this conversation that has been very eventful, right? A lot going on, people coming in and out. But I really want to know, what do you expect on a personal level, you know, with your personal story in regards to, you know, the experience of disability around you, right? And her needs. Like, what are your expectations?
I mean, I think I'm really trying to orient towards both her agency, right? I think we've been talking about, like, how do we follow the leadership of the people with disabilities in our lives? So how do I listen to what she's actually telling me she needs? And also orienting towards community care. The idea that, like, the solution is not Social Security is going to pay the bills. Social Security is going to keep people with disabilities in poverty. We know that people have income caps that stop them from being able to move out of poverty if they want to receive disability. So it's not, the government is not the solution. And also that there's not a single person who is the solution. So the orientation is towards community care and collective care and interdependence as those principles we're talking about, right? Like, how following the leadership of the people with disabilities who we love, can we become part of a community web that is adequately offering care and meeting the needs of people throughout our lives, right?
Yeah, I love that you talk about, you know, mutual care and creating networks, right? And really provide agency to your mom, right? I did thought about a little bit, because I think that is such a profound question. What do you expect in the future, right? So I really feel that at a personal level, my expectation is that we continue to have more and more conversations, and we can include more and more people in these conversations about what it is to be disabled, and just listen to others, other kind of disabilities, and as well bring in those who have never been living with a disability, kind of like to open up their eyes and see, like, okay, I'm learning a little bit now. I want to maybe learn more. I am open, you know, to learning more.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that by talk more and more and ask, and, you know, knock on the doors of different individuals that as well are disabled themselves and have different kind of disabilities, I can learn from them, and I can bring that knowledge, that wisdom, whatever adaptations they're doing, just, you know, bring them into my toolbox of, like, oh, okay, I feel I'm learning more, I'm connecting more, right? I hope I can be of service as well to some of them, and I hope that my son gets to experience life to its fullest, you know. My only expectation for him is to really allow him to be the best him he can be, and support him in that process, you know, and the best him he can be. Not to go to college. If he wants to go and if he wants to try, great. But if he doesn't, it's fine, you know.
Yeah.
There's always a lot of fear about the future and anxiety, right? But I think we gotta trust. We gotta trust that that as long as we continue connected with our loved ones, and we create this network of care, right? That we're doing something, right? and we'll be a bit better. Right. Anyways, Diana, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you. It's always such a pleasure to talk.
Well, and desde aquí. With this video, we're actually closing the series in support of Extreme Kids and Crew and their spring fundraiser campaign, meaning the gala or the Felix Awards. They are actually tomorrow. And as well, we hope that these conversations really spark your mind, your brain, your spirit, your emotions, and speak up. You know, we all should really talk about our experience. I hope you enjoyed a lot this interview with Diana and me. And I'll see you in the next one from Desde Aquí, connecting from the heart.